after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, arise and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. May the Lord bless the reading of his word. May it be edifying to our soul. You know, and reading that and studying that, I got a theme. The rebellion family. Everybody have somebody in their family that's rebellious. And you know, when I was coming up, we call that what? The bad apple. And it always, as long as that apple is with the bunch, it's going to try to make the other apples bad. So here we have a son, David's son. Now this is David's third son, Absalom. Now, David loved Absalom. He loved Absalom. Now, when you raising children, it's an experience involving agony and ecstasy. You're going to have some bad times. You're going to have some good times. But this is the joy of a parent. And they go through a lot of joy, and a child can also bring you grief. Don't always think it's a goody two-shoe, but you're going to have a child that do some things you may not like. Now, looking at this, we get just a small portion of what Absalom was about. Now, Absalom was trying to take over the kingdom from his father. Now, here you got a man that sits at the gate, and everybody that comes, they come to see the king, but he met them before he got to the king, and he filled their minds. Regardless of whether or not you do good, you do evil, I'm going to still give you a kiss. Now, this is what Absalom did to try to win the man from his father. Now, we want to sympathize with David as he grieved over his perfidy. Now, David loved his son. He loved Absalom. But Absalom had another motive. He had another motive, saints. Now, here we learn that the brother, the first son, Amon. Now, Amon did something that was heinous. Like I told you earlier, you're always going to have somebody in the family that's going to be rebellious. Now, David did not kill Amon because Amon raped his sister. Amon raped his sister. David did not punish him. He did not kill him. But Absalom loved Tamar, his sister. Absalom killed Amon because he raped his sister. And saints, we're going to go through this. You're going to see people in your family that's doing right. They're doing wrong. You got people now, day after day, that have family members do things they shouldn't do. But do we turn them into the law? And one thing, I don't know if you heard about this a couple weeks ago. The young man committed a crime at Walmart. The mother saw the son on TV. And she said, hey, that's my son. But what did she do? She turned him in. Because, if she would have had his back, you know what would happen? He would have went out and did the same thing again. Because my mother got my back. Now, what if Absalom had Amon's back? Amon would have went out and did something else to someone else. But Absalom took matters in his own hand. He killed his own brother for raping his sister. We're going to see this each and every day. You're going to have people with that same mindset. And I thank God that, he gives me the mind to want to do what's right, to want to live right, to want to live by his word. But saints, Amon was gone. Now, here you got Joab. Joab was the command wanted revenge on what had happened. Now, killed Absalom. He killed Absalom. But saints, and I want to talk about something here that a lot of us may not look at or see. But let's talk about rebellion. Now, it is a part of man's nature to rebel. It's a part of their nature. Some rebellion can be good. Brown versus Board of Education. Little young black girl wanted to go to a white school. They wouldn't allow her in there. So they rebelled. Like I said, you got some rebellion that's good and you got some that's bad. Now, most of all rebellion can bring change and improve life for all. For example, Martin Luther King. It brought forth change to confront a judge, to say my mind, say my piece. Years ago, they couldn't, I'm holding you in contempt, arrest you. But now you can say that, allow you to say certain things to a judge. I still give judges respect, but you can say certain things now. But if Martin Luther King did what he did, where would we be? Now, sin entered into the world through rebellion. And Eve chose to rebel against God. That's how it started right there, saints. It started right there. Now, here you have a son who deliberately undermined his father's kingdom by doing what he's doing. And he hurt you in my nucleus. You're supposed to look out for me. We're supposed to be for each other. But here you are trying to take my kingdom from me. Going behind my back, thinking with the people. Putting things in their mind that you gonna do that I wouldn't do. This is a rebellion child. This is how it is, saints. And here we got here people after people, day after day, going through the situation of being rebellious. Sin has no name. It knows everybody. And it only takes a little sin that's going to keep you out of the kingdom of heaven. Only a small part. Now, if you say, well, I committed just a little sin, I'm still going to heaven. Little sin, a lie. can keep you out of heaven, saints. But you know, I sat here and I studied and I listened to each and every one of us in here. And you know, when you are dealing with children that's going to be rebellious, that's going to do things they shouldn't do. And time after time, you see young kids are dying. Years ago, we didn't look at young kids as individuals that's going to be able to pass, the ones that's going to lead us when we're gone. But here you got families, mothers, fathers, burying their own children because little kids are being rebellious. And coming up as a young man, and my father wasn't there. My mother raising 6 boys and trying to tell us what we need to do, what needs to be right. How are you supposed to treat a woman? You're supposed to respect your elders. Yes, curse you in a minute. You try to tell them what's right, they want to tell you you're wrong. But that's how it is, saints. And we look at this village thing, and I see it every single day, where you got older people trying to tell a young person that's wrong. What you're doing is wrong. And then you got the mother that comes, you don't tell my child what is wrong and right. I'll do that. And that's what we're going through today. Families don't want to work together because that's the rebellion that's within the families. You got to say, we got to let go. And we got to go back to the old landmark, the way it used to be. Coming together as individuals, being able to say something to a young child without his mother or his father cursing you out. That's the way we need to be. And I tell you, when I was coming up, my mother told me, she said, Tony, you make sure you respect your elders. And you say yes, sir, and no, sir. Then we get a woman comes over and say, I don't tell my son to say yes, sir. He don't have to say that. But that's what I hear. And I'm saying this is the way some people are growing up today.